Hello everybody, I just want to shoot a quick video showing you guys my EDC tin. Now I know you see a lot of, for example, Altoids survival tins. That's a very popular thing amongst the internet, including Altoids EDC tins. I did my EDC tin in a little bit of a different form factor. This is just in a little cigarello tin. So just let's show you a size comparison. I'll do an Altoids video in the future of an Altoids tin, but let me just show you this for now because this is what I decided to put together first. Okay? And the reason I have this Victorinox knife here, I will explain in a moment. So basically, this is my system that rides in my backpack every day. I go to school every day. This sits in the bottom compartment of my backpack. University, I should clarify, in case anybody's wondering, I'm not bringing a knife to high school. I'm not in risk of getting suspended. So this rides in the lowest pocket of my backpack, somewhere easy to get to. I don't mind that it has the band to keep it, to make sure it stays shut, and the elastic bands around it, because this is by no means supposed to be a covert Altoids tin. I don't mind if people know that I have things in here that are useful to me. This is not a tin I have out very often. As I said, it sits in my backpack. So a couple things about this is it is always with me, always. There's no point when I'm at school that I leave my backpack unattended. I always have it with me throughout every day, and that's every business day, Monday to Friday. So if it's not one of the days where I'm carrying a larger knife with me, whether it's, for example, what I have on my desk is a Sanran Mu 710. This is a good little EDC knife here. If it's a day I don't have this on me, and I need a knife for some reason, or I need some extra tools, I keep these two things in that pocket of my bag. I keep other things as well, but I'm going to associate these two together because I got this knife specifically for this reason, to reside in that pocket and provide me with a little bit of extra tools. But this was just recently added. The main point of this is just this tin and the contents of this tin. So I will show you that right now. So first of all, I'm going to start by taking these bands off here. Now, keep in mind, this is not, and I repeat, this is not a survival tin. This is a convenience EDC tin. So I like to have some spare elastics around here. Actually, I'm down to 3. I had, I think, 5 or 6 when I first started this tin, but elastics come in handy. So that's one thing I like to keep around the tin, because it's something I like to use. Now, opening the tin up here, it does clip shut. So upon opening it, this is the contents of the tin. Alright, so where should I start? I'll start on the right hand side, and I'll take everything out one piece at a time. Like I said, I just added the other Victorinox knife in there, but until before then, I just had a Victorinox Classic. This is an old one, it's quite beat up actually. But I did put a really nice edge on the blade. The scissors are still quite sharp. The scissors I find come in handy quite frequently when I have to cut edges of paper for assignments, that kind of thing. I find that really handy, even for some threads hanging off your clothes. But for that reason, for threads, I mean, I usually like to use the knife. And like I said, I sharpened this up. And this is not a knife that I could fit on my Wicked Edge sharpener. But what I did is I used my Wicked Edge stones, and I sharpened this freehand. And this actually has a very sharp edge on it. I'll see if I can show you my fingernail here. If I can scrape some. So I mean, it's biting very easily. You could see it's picking up some fragments on my nail quite easily there. Yeah, so this is a very useful blade. Although it's small, it's very sharp, and it's good for some precision work. So I keep a Victorinox Classic in there. Okay, then next on the list, keep a couple toothpicks in there. These are the toothpicks you get at restaurants. They're individually wrapped. You can use these for dental hygiene, or if you need to get some gunk under your nails, or if you need to clean something. Toothpicks I find useful for that. I have a bunch of these toothpicks at my house. I only leave 1 or 2 in the tin. Now, I tried very, very hard not to put things in the tin that I didn't think I would use very often. I see a lot of people's EDC tins, and they have some bizarre items in there that, I'll be quite honest, I don't think I would ever need, or I would ever use. Not necessarily that I would never need. yeah, so I tried to keep this tin as functional as possible. That's why you see some empty space, and I've intentionally left a little bit of empty space in here for some items that happen to come up. For example, one item I would like to put in here that I haven't done yet is I would like to put in a little piece of a glue stick. I would like to try that out and see if that's actually a useful thing to have. Apparently you just melt it. You can melt it with one of these matches, so I'll show you that now. It's just a box of matches from the keg. These are awesome little packets. They can hold about 20 matches if you stick some more in here, because there's a little bit of extra space. And these come in handy from time to time. I have a few friends that smoke, and sometimes they'll forget a lighter or whatnot. But it's just useful to have a way to start fire with you. This right here is a little item that I made, and I'll be doing a video on this on the future. This is a little credit card spool tool needle holder device that I made. Believe it or not, this is holding about 15 to 20 feet of 15-pound test monofilament fishing line. Monofilament I find is good if you need to stitch any kind of clothing just to kind of get you through the day. Monofilament doesn't look good when you stitch with it, but it works and it's strong, not to mention any equipment if my backpack were to rip. I've used this exact system before to actually repair my girlfriend's shoes when we were out. They ripped and we were a little ways from home, walking distance, and so I repaired her sandals with these, and it was more than adequate. So I find this with a good amount of thread and a needle pushed in behind there so you can take the needle out. I find this to be an awesome thing to have in my little EDC tin. It doesn't take up much space. It's very helpful in my opinion. So I got some thread in there. Next is I have a little bit of ties and fasteners. So here I have four miniature zip ties. These can be branched together if you wanted to make a larger zip tie, or you can use them individually. These are great for cable management. So say you're setting up I don't know, a computer or a TV or something like that, and you want to bundle some cords together. Cable ties I think are really helpful, even if you want to lash things to your backpack. I've made up some on-the-fly water bottle holders for these before to hang on the outside of my pack, just to go around the lid of a disposable water bottle. These are helpful, and I just put put two twist ties in here, just in case you need a twist tie. Again, like I said, I try to keep this to things that will actually get used. I didn't want to fill this with things that have such a minute chance of being used that they're just here to take up space. So what I did is I limited this to only the useful items. And this is something I've been refining for quite a bit of time, maybe 6 months. I've been refining this tin to a point where I'm quite happy with it now, and I use the contents of it quite regularly. So I got some bandages here. I have one larger bandage and two smaller bandages. Self-explanatory. You get a cut, a scrape. This will hold you over until you get to a better first aid kit with just a paper cut or something like that. Next in here is one of the newer additions, and I find this quite awesome. I used to keep a couple pieces cut out of a pack of gum in there, and this is about the same size and thickness as about 2 pieces of gum cut out from a pack. There's 24 breath strips in here, and these can come in handy in a pinch, you know, if you're meeting up with a girlfriend or something like that, or you have a meeting with a professor, someone important. You don't want your breath to stink, obviously. So Listerine packs I find are quite helpful, and again, that holds 24 strips in that small package, which is awesome. And these are very powerful. If you guys have ever used these before, you would know that. A couple nice things I find very helpful, because I have multiple assignments I need to submit weekly. I keep 2 of these bowl clips in here. A lot of the times there's no staplers around, and when they are staplers around, they're empty. So these are a great way to bind some papers together for an assignment. Just pinch them, insert your papers. Very helpful. 2 different sizes, just because that's what I had around. I use these all the time, and these actually have some multiple uses, even in addition to binding paper together. So you guys can get creative with how you can use these, but I've used these in some different applications, and they're quite helpful. Next to that is I put a little split ring with a little clip on it, and I found this has come in handy a few times. Say you have a device or a key or something like that, you want to put it to something where you can attach it and unattach it very easily. I just find this a convenient device to have on me, so I put that in here. Next in here is I have 4 loose staples. Now, loose staples, if you have a little stack of paper, maybe under 10 slices of paper, you can just simply push this through with your finger. You can even use the edge of your knife if you don't want to put that much pressure on your finger, and you can just push this through and fold it on the other side, just like having a stapler. Of course, this is not going to work for bigger stacks, but for smaller stacks of paper, that does really come in handy. So that's a nice thing I thought was convenient to have in there. Next thing I have in there, which is one of the newer additions, is Wallet Ninja, and I got this as a gift. I think this is a great little tool. It takes up about the size of a credit card. It's a little bit heavier. It is made out of stainless steel, and you know, this has advertised, I think it's 12 or 13 tools with it, from a bottle opener here to, if you insert a credit card here, this is supposed to be like a cell phone stand, so you can set your cell phone on top of there and it will hold it up. It has a flathead screwdriver. It has a little blade there, so you can open boxes with it here. What else does it have? It has all your, not all your, but a good amount of different hex sizes. So if you need to put some screws in or take some screws out and you just have the bit heads, you can use this card and it will act as a screwdriver in that situation. Another flathead screwdriver, a can opener, and a ruler here. And this corner here, it says it's a screwdriver, but this can also be used for prying, and I found that quite helpful when I don't want to ruin my knife. And one actually other little item I threw in there is I threw in a little firecracker, because, well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, I had a little bit, well, I have a decent amount of extra space in here. I thought this can be useful for a couple of reasons, whether it be signaling. Again, I said this is not a survival tin, but it may be helpful to have something like this if you need to get someone's attention, even for just a prank or a joke or something. It could be could come in handy and be useful. So yeah, this is the contents of my EDC tin. Now, always riding in the same pocket is this Victorinox knife here. I believe this is the Victorinox Camper, and I'm just going to quickly show you the tools in this. Okay, so we have the main blade, then we have a flathead screwdriver, and a bottle opener. Beyond that here, that's the file. That's a little bit difficult to get out. What can I get out next here? So this actually has a saw, and that's actually one of the main reasons I opted for this model, is because it had the little saw with it, and I start to see increasing use for this. Once you think and you remember that the saw is something you have on you, say you go for a little hike. My school is surrounded by forests, and I've been inclined to go for a couple walks down some trails to gather some information for assignments and whatnot on different ecosystems and whatnot. I think a saw would be something cool to have. It lets you cut a little bit of wood, maybe maximum diameter 2 inches, and yeah, it's a cool little device. So let me get the knife out of the way. This is a bottle opener and can opener and a flathead screwdriver. It's got some nice scissors in here. These are actually quite large scissors, quite a bit larger than those in the Classic. Like I said, this is the newest addition to my kit, and it's something I just added in there a few weeks ago. But I found it's come in handy a few times. It has the star, or the Phillips head on the back, and then in addition, this Victorinox here has the toothpick here, which is kind of redundant to the toothpick I already have in my kit. And it also has a small set of tweezers, so if you have a splinter or something of that nature, this would be your option to remove that with this kit. So thank you guys for watching. This is my EDC tin. Would really appreciate it if you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel for more similar kind of gear videos, knife reviews, gear reviews, and gun reviews. So thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you guys later. Thank you, and bye.